Hey guys, I just wanted to make a quick video for you DIYers out there making your own hydraulic hose with field attachables for your machines that are out in the field and get called out. Just a couple of critical factors I just wanted to cover with some of the videos that I've actually seen online that just miss a couple of critical parts that I think that need mentioning. So anyway, so just this is my mobile hose van, so just what you guys are looking for out there. The critical factors are two main items. So what you're looking at is your hose, which is your one wire or two wire hose that you've got to repair and use in your field attachables. In this situation, I'm using a JIC. It's SAE 100R2 -06. A lot of people that I've seen make the mistake of trying to put it on a one wire shell on a two wire hose, or vice versa, two wire fitting on a one wire hose. Basically you risk having it blown off if you try to screw it on, or when the machine's under load after you put it back on the bucket or on the auger or whatever. So basically, so what you're trying to do is making sure that you're matching up when you go to your suppliers, that you're getting the correct equipment for the correct job. All right, so I know how critical it is that you guys get your machines up and running. Just making sure that you're doing it correctly, that's all. So you're matching up the two wire to a two wire shell. All right, in this situation I'm just using a bit of Taipan product here. So D206, D2 represents a two wire. The two wire matches up with a two wire here, so SAE, so that's an international standard 100R2AT, which is what you're looking for. Sometimes you can't see anything on the ley line, so what you do is your next best thing is you're looking inside and just counting the layers of wire WAP on here. Hopefully you can see it. So there's two, so there's an outer layer and an inner layer. All right, so basically that just signifies whether it's a one wire or two wire. So just by counting that, so if you're unsure, look at the end of the hose. All right, so it's a little bit deceiving. It might appear that it's three, but it's not. Okay, so it's one wire, two wires, two braids there, so that matches up with the shell and the ferrule, which is the JIC, commonly known as -6, which is 3/8. I refer to these as a -6. Some people in this industry refer it to it as a -9. -9 refers to 9/16 thread on the end there. All right, so it just depends what supplier you go to. So we're making sure that you ask for either -6 or -9. If you know what it is, great. So basically, anyway, most of the time you'll be able to screw this on by hand. Sometimes you're gonna have to use a spanner. So what you're doing is, what you're looking for, see at the bottom of that thread there, you've got to screw the hose up onto that bottom collar there, and then back it off about half a turn. All right, so I generally mark the hose so I know where it's going to be, and also using visual. Right, so that should be around about that mark there, which should be in line with about where that thread stops down the bottom there. All right, so next I'll put this in the vise, and sometimes you may need to use a little bit of rubber grease on the end here, on the end of the stem here, or a little bit of silicone, just whatever's handy, just making sure that it's fluid. But anyway, so I'll take this over here into the vise. So I'm just going to put the camera down for a sec, just so I can put the hose in the vise, not over clamping it when you're screwing it up. You don't want the hose to collapse. Just another critical thing, making sure you probably won't have the luxury in the field like I do with a nice drop saw to get it nice and square. But that's just a safety factor. When you're screwing it up, you want that to be square, not cut on an angle. All right, so most guys use a blade, and you're just making sure if you're using a blade on a grinder, making sure that you cut it straight. just sitting it in there, not doing it up too tight. This goes on anti-clockwise, just remember that. You'll probably realise when you can't screw it on trying to put it on clockwise. So that goes on anti-clockwise. So just screw it up until it bottoms out on that thread. It's just about there. You'll notice that the shell warms up as you're screwing it on. So I'm just about there, so I'm there. Just going to back it off a bit, about half a turn. I'll just show you. So you're just making sure that it's up to that point. The bottom of the rubber is just below that bottom thread there, and just back it off. As I said, the next critical part is when you insert the stem of the ferrule, making sure that you locate the inside of the rubber, because if you don't, you risk picking up that liner and dragging it down, and then you're going to create problems. You're going to create a leak and possible blow the hose towel off and all sorts, and you don't want that stuff going through your engines. All right, so when you're inserting it, just locating the center, you'll feel it when it pops in. That's where some people have seen them screw it up like that and just try to, you know, get it through that rubber. If you play with it just a little bit, you will find the center of it, of that hose. So that's located, so you feel it drop in. Right, so, and then just screw it down a couple of turns. I'm going to take this out of the vise and put it on the shell there. Just makes life a bit easier. Just putting in the vise there. Just screwing this clockwise. Alright, so it won't go any other way, so you'll know which way it is. So that goes on clockwise to the shell. Just put a bit of pressure on the top, just so it bites down on that thread. And once you're there, you'll know. And just screw it up all the way down. Just take it all the way down to the bottom. That's it, and there you have it. It's ready for going on the machine. So it's inserted correctly, and it's all the way down. So there we go. I hope this video was beneficial. If you've got any more questions to ask, feel free, and hopefully I should be able to help you with any other questions. Thanks, and thanks for watching High Torque Hoses demonstration.